Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. My name is Ahmed. I'm a former teacher at MIS. In this video, I'll be explaining to you mathematics, chapter 14 particularly from the book Pupil Book 1.2 by Collins, which is the third edition. In this part 2, we're going to be discussing how to use algebra to set up and solve equations. We have many real-life problems that can be solved by first setting up an equation and then solve the equation and find the answer. To follow up and find the answer for these equations, you have to solve a word problem using a linear equation. Using these steps, you can find the variable value for this equation and then find the answer for the problem. First of all, you have to write a variable model. Second, define a variable for the unknown. And third, write an equation. Fourth, you have to solve it and then you answer the problem in a sentence. The common language for this kind of problems are is means equal, of means multiply, per means multiply as well, less than usually means subtract, more than usually means add. Have a look at one of the examples from the book, page 278, example number 11 specifically. So now here we have a problem. We don't know the number that this particular person thinking of. Her name is Kate. She thinks of a number. The first she subtract 13, then she multiplies it by 4. Let's call Kate's number K. Okay, so that means her number is a variable which is K. Let's write an expression for her answer. Write the equation to show this, which is the answer that she exactly say, 72. We need to solve the equation to find Kate's initial number. Okay, we need to find this. Kate is initial number. After subtracting 13 from her number, Kate has K minus 13 because the question says, first of all, Kate subtract 13, okay? So K minus 13. So the first part of this problem that we need to write or set up an equation for this problem. Kate says that first she subtract 13, okay? Her number is K. So this is the first answer, which is K minus 13. For second, she multiplies this number, which is K minus 13, by 4. So all we have to do is add this number between brackets and then multiply it by 4. She then multiplied this by 4 to get 4, bracket, K minus 13, close the bracket. The expression for Kate's answer is K, 4 multiplied by bracket, K minus 13. Remember, this is multiplication between the bracket and 4 here, okay? But we don't write it. For B, we asked to write an equation to show this, alright? So Kate's answer is 72. That means after the equation mark, we have to write 72. Now we know the first part of the equation, and we got the second part, which is the answer, as she actually mentioned here. So 4 multiplied by K minus 13, close the brackets. Now let's answer and solve the equation to find Kate's initial number, which is K here. So 4 multiplied by K minus 13 equal to 72. The first step would be divide, because we have multiplication here, we have to do inverse operation. So first we divide both sides by 4. So if I divide this side by 4, we get 1. The coefficient here is 1. 72 over 4 is 18. So K minus 13, yeah, it's 18. So K minus 13 is equal to 18. Now we got K minus 13 equal to 18 as simplified. But we need to isolate the variable here on one side and get the answer. So all we have to do is inverse operation. Minus 13 will become plus 13 here for both sides. So plus 13 here, plus 13 here. It's going to be 1 here, and then the answer should be K equal to 31. That means 13 plus 18 is 31. So K is 31. Katie's initial number is 31, and that's one of the examples on how you solve real-life problems using algebra and solving the equation to find the answer. Exercise for using algebra to solve real-life problems, setting up the equation and finding the variable value here. Exercise 14D from page 278. Exercise number 1, with the same concept. Dan thinks of a number, he doubles it, and then add 5. Use D to represent Dan's number. Write down an expression for the answer, and then Dan gives you the answer as 15. So now let's go ahead and try to solve this simple and set up the equation for this simple problem. Now Dan thinks of a number, okay? This number is D, definitely. He doubles it. When he say he doubles it, it means he multiply it by 2. That means 2 multiply by K, which is 2D plus 5 adds 5. 2D plus 5. Write down the expression for the answer. This is the expression. Now the answer is 59. Let's find the answer on the next page. Now here, this is the answer, okay? As he says, 2D, guys, okay? 2D. 2D plus 5. He thinks of a number, he doubles it, that means 2D, multiplication, plus 5. B, 2D plus 5 is equal to 59. We got two sides of the equation now. We just have to find the answer. But this is the two-step equation. First of all, we have to use the inverse operation to simplify this equation. We have plus 5. We have to, let's say, subtract both sides by minus 5. Okay? When we do that, we divide over 2. We divide over 2. Okay? Because here we have 2 multiplied by D, so we divide both sides by 2. The answer would be 27 here. So 2D equal to 54. This is the first step, okay? What did we do here actually? Let me just simplify it for you. Subtract both sides by, what was the number that we subtracted with? It's minus 5. Minus 5. Okay, for the next one, how do we get that D is actually 27? We divide both sides by, what is the number? By 2. Because this is the coefficient that we need to isolate the variable, so we need to divide by 2. Okay, and that's it, and that's the answer for this particular example from the book. I hope you understood it. Let's have another example for you to understand more about this setting up equations lesson. Okay, here again with another example for using algebra to solve word problems. Mike has M-colored pencils, okay? We know the variable now, which is M. John has 12 fewer pencils than Mike. 12 fewer pencils than Mike, which is M minus 12. Write down an expression in terms of M for the total number of pencils. They have 48 pencils altogether. Write an equation and solve it to find the value of M. How many pencils does each boy have? So as seen here, guys, from the example, the answer could be as following. John has 12 fewer pencils than Mike. Mike's pencils can be given the variable of M. So we must have two M's at the end, right? So A is 2M minus 12. So A is 2M minus 12. For B, they have both 48 pencils altogether. That means the total of the equation must be 48. B answer is 2M minus 12 is equal to 48. Now we've got the equations. We actually set up the equation. We need to solve this equation to find the answer for question number C. Okay, heading here back, the first step would be adding 12, okay? It's adding 12 to both sides. since we have a negative 12 here, so we do the inverse operation and we have to add 12 for both sides. 12 plus 12 minus 12, 1. Now we've got the equation. After we set up the equation for this problem, we need to answer it and simplify it as good as possible. So 2m, a coefficient of 2 for m variable, minus 12 equal to 48. The first step would be adding 12 to both sides, so we can omit 12 here, so add 12 to both sides. We get 2m equal to 60, because here addition to the other side, 48 plus 12 will be equal to 60, okay? Then we have 2m equal to 60. We've got a coefficient to m variable. We need to divide both sides by 2 because this is a multiplication between 2 and m here. So definitely if we divide 60 by 2, we'll be given the answer 30. Now heading back to the last part of this question, which is C. Mike has, at the end, Mike has, this is Mike, M, has 30 pencils. Since what we call Joan, since Joan actually has, since Joan now has less or fewer pencils, 12 fewer pencils than Mike, that means 30 minus 12 is actually 18.